everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Why I Love Flagler County, your local podcast spotlighting local businesses and local residents on what they love about being a part of Flagler County. So today I'm super excited to have my guest today. Chauncey, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that.
Of course. Well, we met pretty recently over at my dad's event there at the Southern Rec Center. If anyone hasn't been there, to the Millionaire Mindset Lunch and Learn series, and he was just one of the stars of the networking event, always talking to people. So I'm really really excited to learn more about your story. So I'll let you kind of kick it off, and you can tell me a little bit about your journey coming here to Flagler, and how's that been for you?
Well, it's been interesting. I've been here 5 years now, and it's been very interesting. And I moved to Florida from the Washington, D.C. area, and I moved here based on weather, primarily weather and cost.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired of shoveling snow and moving ice and all that kind of stuff.
You don't have to tell me twice. I think you might have known we're from up north too. It's
Oh, yeah. Oh,
defrosting
yeah.
your car, all of those things you had to do.
I agree with that.
That's awesome. And how did you kind of find Palm Coast?
It was very interesting. I had traveled to several states around the United States, Nevada, California, Texas, trying to find a place to retire. And I flew into Florida, and a friend of mine, I got off the airplane. A friend of mine called me, and he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm in Florida. I just got here." He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Looking for a place to retire." He said, "Try Palm Coast." And I said, "What is a Palm Coast?" And he said, "Here's the highways to take, and I'll have somebody meet you." So I rented a car, jumped on the highway, and drove up to Palm Coast. And he had a real estate agent meet me. And she convinced me to try it. So I rented a house, and I said, "Okay, I'll try it for a while." I rented a house, and the rest is history. I'm here. I have now built my own house, so I'm here now.
You're here and you're staying. We're happy to have you. That's so funny. You had a lot of trust in your friend, and but it's paid off hopefully for you here.
Yeah, he has moved here subsequent to me moving here. I've been here 5 years, and he's been here about a year and a half now.
Oh, you started a trend.
Oh yeah, we did really.
It's okay. Awesome. And what have you, I mean, what were you doing before you came to Palm Coast, and what are you doing now?
I'll be very brief with it. I worked in the Pentagon. I worked for the United States government for 39 years, 8 months, and 11 days.
Wow.
And the DC area was home.
Mm-hmm. It's really beautiful over there too. I mean, when it's warm.
Not only is it beautiful, it can be very interesting. It's an interesting place to live. I'll leave it like that.
Oh, I'm sure. And what are you doing now that you're here in Palm Coast? What have you been up to?
Well, since I've been in Pablo, to be honest, when I got here, I'd been here about a week and I was bored stiff. And I was talking to someone I met here, and I said, I'm thinking about moving when my lease is up. And they said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm bored." And they said, "Well, don't complain about it, do something about it." So I re energized the company. I deal primarily in music. I develop concerts, and I try to develop them in such a way that they're unique to attract people. So that's what I've been doing in both Flagler and Volusia. I've been developing concerts, and I am booked out until the end of the year in Daytona Beach at both Cinematique Daisy Stocking Stadium, and a very nice place called the Palmetto Club. So I'm pretty much booked out for the end of the year until the end of the year.
That's amazing. And what are some of the events that you've hosted that you'd like to talk about?
Uh, I made an agreement with Cinematique, which is an extremely unique theater. And every second Sunday of the month, they have what they call Jazz Sunday. And I have various groups in there every Jazz Sunday. I have 5 bands, I have singers, and I have some individual musicians. So I'm pretty much there every Sunday. And I try to put it in a manner that it's unique and attracts attention. And I have something called Opposites Attract. And what it is a jazz saxophonist, and his wife is an opera singer. And I put the two of them together. Then I have something called it's a jazzy Christmas with strings and things. And I have a violin, a cello, and a harp. Gonna play jazz for Christmas. My biggie this year is called The Sounds of Jazz. And I'm gonna do that at the Palmetto Club in Daytona Beach on Beach Street. And it is as much history as it is music. It's the history of jazz, how it started, how it's progressed, how it came from 1924 up to today's times. I can't have everything because of the number of hours that I've rented the building for, but I've done it in such a manner that we're going to cover some very interesting centuries. And I have both music and narrators to define the various scenes and what they're about and how they got started. And we're encompassing some videos and dinners included.
Wow. And when is that?
The 12th of October.
The 12th of October. That sounds like an amazing event. I know the history of jazz is one of that's incredibly rich, is what I remember.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. And on my part, it's been extremely time consuming because it required an awful lot of research.
What are some of the what is there
And
any fun fact you can kind of share that you've learned through your research?
uh no, because that'll spoil the people coming, so I won't tell
You're
that.
right. Yeah. So
But
it's
yeah,
gonna be
it's
in
it's
Daytona, October 12th, right?
October the 12th, that is correct, at the Palmetto Club.
Perfect. So I'll have
I
all the
think the
information.
address is
Yeah, I can
oh
find the address.
yeah, I'll send you everything. And the one I have in August is on your birthday, August the
It
11th.
is on my birthday.
I know your dad told me. And I have a show with Cinematique in August. And it's the second Sunday in August from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And it's a local musician, Adam Kernecki, and guests. And we're going to turn the second half of it into a jam session. So any local artists that are in the area that would like to sit in, they're more than welcome to.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I definitely think I actually know some that I'll definitely be sending your way. I think they would love to hear
Please
about an
do.
event this what like this.
Please do.
I will. Well,
And
this has
as
been so
far
fun.
I'm a professional extrovert and a personal introvert. Therefore, I spend hours every day in front of my computer developing. I've already started on 2025.
There you go. You're on top of your game. What can I say?
I try to be. I try to be.
That's amazing. Well, Chauncey, thank you so much for coming on and sharing a few minutes. I mean, this is an amazing topic. I'm such a history nerd and a music nerd, so I'm so excited to hear about an event like this, especially because jazz is one of those I think it's one of those music genres that maybe my age range hasn't tapped into a whole lot. I know there's some new jazz artists coming out that I love listening to, my friends love listening to, but we don't know a whole lot about the foundings of it. So I'm excited to learn. So I appreciate you coming by and letting us know what's going on here in the area. I don't think a lot of people knew about this.
I that has been my weakness, finding medias to broadcast the things that I do.
Hmm.
And it's been fairly successful, not totally, but fairly successful. And I learned that a lot of your musical artists, even though they run around the country or around the world, home is Florida for them. So I am fortunate to have the ability to catch some of them when they're home and they have nothing going on, no tours going on. And I bring them into one of my venues and we do a show.
That's amazing to hear. I didn't know that either. So we all learned something new. So, Chauncey, I appreciate your time again today. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun for me.
I am glad you enjoyed it. Please stay in touch and I'll keep you informed.
Of course. And I'll make sure I have all of his information on the upcoming events and everything that you can go and stay tuned for his events coming up in the description so you guys can click, copy, paste, whatever makes it easier. And I appreciate your guys' time today. So thanks. Talk soon.
Oh,
Bye.
thank you. Bye bye.
Chauncey, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that.
Of course. Well, we met pretty recently over at my dad's event there at the Southern Rec Center. If anyone hasn't been there to the Millionaire Mindset Lunch and Learn series, and he was just one of the stars of the networking event, always talking to people. So I'm really excited to learn more about your story. So I'll let you kind of kick it off, and you can tell me a little bit about your journey coming here to Flagler, and how's that been for you?
Well, it's been interesting. I've been here 5 years now, and it's been very interesting. And I moved to Florida from the Washington, D.C. area. And I moved here based on